Good morning. This is Deborah Clutter. I have a project I'm going to be working on. This is a quilt. I need to quilt for my guild, and a bunch of the ladies made some quilts for the new ambulance in Hill City, South Dakota. So I'm going to quilt this one up and kind of take you guys along for the ride. So let's get started. Right now I'm stapling on the back of my quilt, or the backing for my quilt. And this quilt's about 85 by 105, so it's a pretty large quilt. So I use my electric stapler. You can see some of my other videos where I talk about my electric stapler. You can buy them on Amazon. It's really an easy way to load your quilt. You just need to make sure you put the staples going in from the side of the fabric to the leader, and then they'll pull off with the fabric when you pull them off. But you can see some of my other videos if you're interested in loading your quilt that way. And then I just throw it over the back and I roll it up to meet the leader in the back, and it always ends up perfectly straight. So this is the easiest way for me to load it. I don't measure the center or do any of that. I just kind of put it on wherever I want and then just do it this way. And you can see it looks perfectly fine. So now I'm just putting on the batting that I was given, and somebody had cut this for me. The batting is a little bit wider than my backing here. And since I didn't cut this batting, I'll have to trim it so it doesn't hang over. Hopefully that's looks like this is the long end, so we'll check it before we start quilting. A couple of the guild members made this quilt, or made this quilt top, and I think it turned out really beautiful. I actually like this pattern a lot, and I think the colors they chose turned out really well. I was just checking the batting to make sure it's long enough. I got about that much, so I think it's good. So I am ready to baste down the quilt. Isn't it beautiful? I think Colleen and Cheryl did a great job on this. I don't know what the pattern is. I can find out from them and let you know. So I'm actually thinking I will use this light gray. This is Omni thread, and it's light gray. I think it will look okay. I do have this Omni V that would probably look good on here. Let's see what it looks like. So it's got a little bit of this color and this color of turquoise in it. Maybe we'll try that one. So I need to wind some bobbins, and if you haven't seen my bobbin trays that I print, 3D print, here they are. This one is for long arms. So I think I'm going to maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. I don't know. I think I'll wind 5 bobbins and we'll see if I have enough. So I really don't know how many bobbins I'm going to need, and I'm just guessing, and some of that guessing is from experience. I bet I probably use 4 because this is the pattern I'm going to use is very open and easy, so it doesn't have a lot of stitching. We'll give it a try.
This morning I already had an idea of what I wanted to quilt, which quilting pattern, kind of had an idea of the thread I wanted to use, and I changed my mind on both of those already. So I'm just going to put my bobbin in my toe gauge, and I'm going to check it. It's a tad tight. I'd rather have it a little bit closer to 200, so we'll loosen it just a tad. And it's still too tight. When I first started quilting, I didn't know how to use this thing properly. And okay, so now it's reading almost 200, just a tad. And so we're going to leave it right there. But if you do have one of these, use it. Don't get the digital one, get this one. And if you like my little TOA box, just go to my website and I can print one for you. I did go ahead and clean my machine and oil it and oil the bobbin case. So I'm going to stick that in there.
I'm going to go ahead and baste down the top of the quilt and the sides. And I don't really put a line down first. I just kind of laid it down as straight as I can get it, and then I just kind of move it with my fingers. I have my channel locks on so I can keep the quilt straight. And then I'm just going to go down the sides on this side, and then I'll break thread and move it to the other side.
I need to change out my foot, and if you have a Gammill and you haven't got these new quick change feet, I would suggest you get them. They are very easy to change. Now I had the old style that you kind of screwed on, which worked, but these are much easier to get on and off, and they're lighter. I think I don't know what they're made out of, maybe aluminum. The other ones were cast. I still have my old set. If somebody's interested in the old set, I'll sell them for about $150. And I have some grease coming off of this, so I need to go wipe that down. I had originally thought about putting this design. It's called Whispering Pines. It's by Urban Elements, but after looking at the quilt some more, I decided I would go with a different design, and this is the one I chose. This one is called Diagonal Meander, and it's by Karen Marchetti. And so I set up my boundary, and now I just have to tell it how long my quilt is, and it's about 105 inches. I always like to go just a little bit, but usually it shrinks, so I'm not really sure if I need to. And it's saying I have 8 repeats and 13 rows. And I can actually do 2 rows without rolling, so I think this will work out pretty good. So I think it's looking pretty good. It started off I don't know, it seems like when my machine is going too fast, it starts having problems creating lines that aren't quite straight, so I had to slow it down a little bit. So I think this will be a nice pattern. It is going to be nice and soft, and I think that's what you want for everyday use. I want to show you my setup here a little bit. This that you see right here is from my old clamps that I had on my long arm. You can still see the clamp over there hanging off. I just sewed them together and I used them to keep my quilt straight as I'm quilting. I know exactly how wide it's supposed to be, and it works out really well, and it just velcros onto the side here. Now, this is a Gammill machine. Not all machines have Velcro on them. These are custom clamps I made, and I've made them for lots of people for different types of machines. I can make them where they have a holder that will go on different types of machines. I have to 3D print them. Now, originally I have these clamps. These are actually the cheapest clamps to buy. They're photography clamps, but they're a little bit heavy. So I did switch mine out for these bag clamps, and I used them on my last long arm, and they worked fine. And I like them because they're light, and they still hold and do the job well. Only problem is they're like $8 a piece, so they're much more expensive than these clamps. So if you do want me to make you some retractable clamps, I'm probably going to put these on. But if you want to buy your own bag clips, you can sew them on. But they have to be the OXO brand. They can't be just any off brand, because they won't hold very well. They have to be this brand. And you can also buy other types of long arm clamps. I've seen some other ones for sale if you want to put them on there. You just have to make sure when you're changing out your retractable clamp that you put the thing on so it doesn't roll up in there. You would have to take it all apart. So anyway, here I'm going to be making a video on how to make these clamps if you want to try making them yourself. It does involve a little bit of tools, and my husband usually does it for me, but I will show a video. The only problem is that if you have a different kind of setup and you can't put Velcro on it, then you're going to have to use some kind of clamp. And I also have clamps for the Gammill that I have for my 3D printer that I can print that work a little bit better than just putting Velcro on here. So this clamp always falls off sometimes. I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is what it's looking like now, and I think it looks pretty good. I think the diagonal pattern complements the squares. This is a beautiful quilt, and I hope it looks great when I'm finished. So I finished the first 2 rows, and I'm going to go ahead and roll my quilt. Actually, I'm still in edge to edge mode, and sometimes this is easier just to put it in repeat patterns, because edge to edge is going to want you to put some pins, and now I already rolled it, so I don't know what I'm going to do. So I don't really like creating a registration mark, so I am just going to go to the last point that I stitched, and then I'm going to turn this into a repeat pattern. So I just have to select it and move it all to one point. Select yes. And now I have to control the whole thing. I know some people are probably wondering why I did it that way. Just because I don't like doing it the other way. You do you, though. You can do it the way you're comfortable with. All right, so I'm going to baste down the sides of the quilt and quilt the next 2 rows. See if I can get this. There we go. So I just wanted to show you something while it's quilting. As I move along, it has a little bit of reflection on the screen. Hang on a second. So I am filling inside the boundary as I move my rows. And I could not quilt this next row, so I'm going to have to do 1 row at a time, which is okay. I think it takes less than a couple of minutes per row. So as I move down with repeat patterns, then I have to come to this row and toggle it unsewn and then fill inside the boundary. Every once in a while, I'm going to probably delete the boundary and create a new one because the quilt will start to shrink a little bit and the boundary will not be the same. So that's my plan. Okay, I'm getting ready to unroll the quilt and I am going to use my electric scissors to cut it off.
If you're wondering why I'm using electric scissors to cut it off the frame instead of just pulling it off, it's because I can take all the extra fabric off and it makes it easier to square up the quilt. And I just prefer to do it this way. It doesn't mean you have to do it that way. You can do it any way you want.
All right, I'll go ahead and show you guys the quilt. And here's the back. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.